Welcome to another edition of Points of Interest, brought to you by the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. My name is Paul Boucher. I'm the President and CEO of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. And as we do each week, we present you with the activities going on in Lebanon and the Upper Valley, and have a guest person on a particular topic that they would like to bring forward. This week being no different, we have Frank Gould. And Frank Gould is going to be talking to us about an exciting project that he's volunteering on, and we'll be talking about that in a bit. But I did a little research. This is being Valentine's Week. A lot of people say, where did it start? Where did it originate? And doing some research, I found that there were 3 St. Valentines. One was in Italy, and the other 2 were England and France. Very little is known about them, but in England and France, during the Middle Ages is when the custom began, and February 14th was halfway through the 2nd month of the year, and it was halfway between winter and spring, and that's when the birds began to pair. And for this reason, the day was looked upon as especially consecrated to lovers, as a proper occasion for writing love letters and sending lovers tokens. So that's, we go back to the Middle Ages and the reason that we do flowers, candy, gifts, and such. And don't forget to do that this week. February 14th, on Thursday, is Valentine's Day. Also, talk about the 35th Annual Home Life Show. This year we call it the Home Expo, Home Life Expo. Will be held March 15th, 16th, and 17th at Leverone Fieldhouse. Packets have gone out to exhibitors who will be signing up to display their wares at the show. If you happen to be someone who is interested in participating as an exhibitor, you can go to our website, which is www.lebanonchamber.com, get an application, fill it out, and email it to us, send it to us. Or if you don't have that capacity, give us a call and we will send you out a packet with all of the information for the show. It's a great way to show your wares. We put through close to 9,000, sometimes a little over 9,000 people through the show for 2.5 days on a Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. And so it's about 35th year. Been very successful for 34. We look forward to another great year this year. We're going to do a little different things this year. We're going to have an area set off so that you can see workshops. Somebody who will be a woodworking or a stone wall person or heat energy, solar panels, things of that nature will be scheduled throughout the show, and you'll be able to sit down and listen to the experts talk about a particular subject. As you go to the show, there'll be a listing of the vendors that are doing the show and the times that they're going to be demonstrating. Also, we're looking to do a restaurant row, so we will have not just one exhibitor there, not exhibitor, but a caterer there to provide food, but as many as we can. We'll take shifts so that you will be able to take opportunities to taste foods of the Upper Valley, if you will, although that term's been taken, we can't use it, but different restaurants will be there, and you'll be able to purchase foods from different restaurants at different times. They'll also be doing some cooking workshops. Again, as we do for the other ones, we'll have cooking workshops throughout the weekend also. So it's going to be very exciting. We're using a new entrance, new logo, and banners and such, so it's going to be a very exciting show. Entertainment throughout the weekend, so that will be March 15th, 16th, and 17th, so look forward to that weekend. But for this week, we have in Lebanon, we have the importance of being earnest in White River Junction. That is at the Briggs Opera House, and that's being put on by Northern Stage, and it's from a classic of Oscar Wilde. It's a comedy, and you can call for tickets at 802-296-7000, and that will run Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the Briggs Opera House. We have here in Lebanon, Touched by the Arts. It's a book discussion, and that is at the Lebanon Public Library, right here downtown. And this is on Thursday from 7 to 8:30 p.m. and they're doing discussion of Hamlet's Dresser, and Bob Smith is the author of that, and they're going to be discussing that. More information, 448-2459, to get more information on that venue. We have the SBA, which is a Small Business Administration, that helps small businesses who are either want to start a business, want some help in education-wise and funding sources, that type of thing. And the Small Business Administration is doing open houses. This is, you have to drive to Concord though. The next one will be February 21st at 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. And if you are interested, call Miguel at 225-1601, and he'll be glad to schedule a time. It's totally free for that particular counseling. And talking about counseling, we have SCORE, which is the Society of Retired Executives, that has an office here in Lebanon in the Citizen Bank building. They're on the 3rd floor, and they're having open house every Wednesday from 9 to 1. Again, if you are looking to start a business, they're pretty good, and they have an expert retired executive from far and wide who will be able to help you in your particular area of interest. And so walk in, and so that 9 to 1 in the SCORE office on the 3rd floor of the Citizens Bank building. Ava Gallery is having the Best of the Upper Valley High School exhibition. This is the 5th annual, and they began February 8th and will run through March 1st. Great works that the kids at the high school have done in different venues, be it art, sculpturing, and the like. And so that's at the Ava Gallery from February to March 1st. Also on the same date, different gallery at Ava, they're doing the Geisel School of Medicine at Dartmouth, Benjamin Blaze, and the Thana Poom, if I'm pronouncing it right, artwork from the students up there at, again, Ava Gallery from February 8th to March 1st. Coming up in early March, and we're not far from away, we always have the Citizens Bank at Home series, and that is sponsored by Citizens Bank with the Lebanon Parks and Recreation Department at the Opera House, Lebanon Opera House. The next performance is the Buskers and Sweetgrass, which are 2 groups that will be playing March 7th, 7:30, totally free, sponsored by the bank and the Recreation Department. So those are some of the activities going on this week in the Upper Valley. And we welcome to the program today Frank Gould. And Frank, welcome.
Thank you.
And give us a little bit on your background, where you're from, and education, and what you did for a living, because I know you're retired.
I was born in Maine, Yarmouth, Maine. We moved to Portsmouth when I was about 9 years old, and so I've been basically a New Hampshireite since I was 9. We've lived in Lebanon. We moved to Lebanon about 30 years ago, a little over 30 years ago. I was a school teacher. I retired from teaching 3rd grade.
Oh.
Back about 11 years ago now that I retired. I taught at Enfield Village School.
Your degree was from where?
I graduated from University of New Hampshire.
Oh.
And I have a master's in education from Plymouth. So I'm pretty well grounded
into New Hampshire.
In New Hampshire.
Yes, and I'm sure this is what brings you to your project that you're going to talk to us about today.
It is, yeah, it certainly is. What I'm currently involved with is the Mascoma River Greenway, which is opening the rail corridor from the downtown Lebanon area to West Lebanon, eventually into Westboro Yard, and connecting into the Connecticut River and the Vermont. When they put the new bridge in on the Route 4, we will have access across that probably for a bike path to go through there. It's been, the reason that I'm doing this is I was on the Recreation Commission in Lebanon for a number of years, and this part of the rail trail was part of the master plan for recreation. But nothing's happened over the last 10 years or so, in part because the state, basically from about Alice Peck Day west, has maintained that the rail was an active rail, even though it was growing trees.
Well, how long ago did the train ever go through there, too?
Well, it was the 50s, I think, was the last train through there. So it was just in the last year that the city managed to sign an agreement with the state to allow us to pull the rails and ties from the section from Alice Peck Day to Glen Road. Basically, we go underneath the Dudley Bridge on Route 4. So we will be, that's what we're working on right now. Beyond Glen Road, we want to get into West Lebanon, and there's several options along that, going along Glen Road to get down to 12A. There's some redevelopment that's going on in the sand pit area down there that will probably involve a rail, not a rail, but a bike path through the Iron Horse development that's going there. So we will be able to connect there with Elm Street in West Lebanon and get us down into the city, into that part of the city, through that way.
Yeah, excellent.
We've actually started our silent phase of our campaign to raise the funds to do it. Basically the money for this project, which is projected by a study that we had done several years ago to be about $2 million, somewhere in that range. So that money will be coming from grants and from individual donations, hopefully. The city will be providing some of the DPW will people to work and some of the equipment that we need too. So,
and I know there's in-kind contributions in that area. We at the Lebanon Rotary Club, we cleaned out from High Street all the way to Alice Peck. One Saturday we got out there and cleaned a lot of brush up to that point there. So a lot is really not that costly type of thing. If we're going to get some city equipment, volunteers to do that. Where is a lot of that? There's going to be something you have to build or whatever. The reason that you need $2 million.
The money.
The money. Yes.
There's several reasons for the money. One is the rail. The rail has to be removed.
Okay.
And removed and moved. And you basically have to hire a company to do that because, unfortunately, I can't get in there and
lift those.
Lift them up myself.
We did some when the trail was going the other way. Again, Rotary Club, we got those long bars, and we were able to lift the pins out of there. But after that, we just moved them to the side. I know what you mean. I mean, with a long bar like that, pulling those stakes out of there it was considerable.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean.
Yeah. So beyond that is the bridges all have to be secured. So, for instance, there's a bridge that goes over I-89 that used to be the rail bridge, and it's surprising the number of people that don't even realize it's there. But it is. Yeah. But that's going to have to be a fairly, I don't know, the fancy is quite the right word, but we're going to have to cage that in kind of in order to make sure that no kids or adults throw rocks down
over the highway. Oh, okay.
So that's going to be an expense. There's 2-3 bridges that have to be put railings on, and probably most of them have to be decked also. We've already started. I don't know whether you've noticed. I think you did mention that you noticed that behind Goss Logan down here in right off of the green, we've actually put a railing on the bridge that goes across the Mascoma River there, and we will be working on that again in the spring to deck part of it and to put a railing on the other side, the upstream side of the bridge. The other part of the project that we've already got some grants for is decking the bridge that goes over the stone at Ellis Peck Day, Slate Hill Bridge.
Yes, the Stone Axe Bridge.
Right,
yeah,
and
yeah.
So that one we'll be decking that and railing that in the spring, plus taking cutting the trees out of the along the rail trail, hopefully all the way out to the 89 bridge, so that we can begin to work on the 89 bridge. So it's really
in piecemeal, you know, hopefully as the money comes in.
It's a piece at a time. Our big we've kind of set priorities for that $2 million. We don't have to have it all at the same time. So the first part of the project is to basically make the bridges safe, especially the 89 bridge, and to clear the path to down to the Dudley Bridge, under the Dudley Bridge to Glen Road, so we can get people at least into.
You and I were talking earlier off camera of the scenic walk that's through there. It's really a nice. I mean, you can meander your way now a little bit. It's a little rough, but you mentioned there was really a scenic, along the Mascoma River where is really a nice spot.
That's especially true once you get down. Well, a little bit past where Long Acres is.
Okay.
You go in behind Timken and behind the Miracle Mile, the shopping plaza there, and there's really the river kind of moves away from the railroad, but the sewer line goes through there, so there's a place you can actually walk. It's really quite nice back in there, and it's really rustic.
Yeah.
I will mention the thing that I think is really exciting about this to me, and one of the reasons that I'm really involved in it is that Lebanon became a city 50 years ago, and in the 50 years that Lebanon has been a city, we have been two communities. We've been Lebanon and West Lebanon, and except for a highway, there's been no connect. And when I was in the Recreation Commission, people would come and complain about the fact that all of the focus seemed to be on the Lebanon side of it. Well, this rail trail is going to connect our two communities in a way that they've never been connected before, and that to me is that's thrilling. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
Well, your enthusiasm shows.
It's really.
And I agree with you. Here at the Chamber office, we often get calls and say, "Is West Lebanon the same as Lebanon? Does it?" I said, "Yeah, we still have the same government. They have a different zip code, but it's the same community." And so a lot of people don't understand. And there's still some. If you graduated, I think the last class in the West Lebanon High School was class of '62 or '63. And so if you talk to anybody prior to that, did you go to Lebanon? No, we went to West Lebanon.
Right.
So, there's still, and I agree. The business community in West Leb was more associated with White River or Hartford, if you will. The business people there, for example, if they went to church, they went into White River to church. If they went to Rotary, they went to the White River Rotary Club. That was more, their community than Lebanon was. And then, of course, a lot of animosities with the closing of the schools and that type of thing. So I'm glad you brought that up. It's bringing the communities together. I mean, there was some talk at one point that when the CCB was built, the Witherall Center, that might show up at the golf course on hole number 9. There was a lot of discussion there. Yeah. That would satisfy both sides of the community. That did not happen. When you talked about the bridges that you have to complete, we have a tunnel too that we have to work on. Yeah. And that is where?
No, it runs under the basically under the pizza place here, the Village Pizza. It runs
by Lebanon College.
By Lebanon College, underneath the highway, underneath Route 120, and comes out behind Goss Logan Insurance Company, and it's a little spooky right at the moment,
to say the least.
But we're working on that. There's some really kind of cool ideas about making that into an art project or something, so that people can be comfortable. It will be lit, and so that when people can walk through there comfortably, and there'll be probably some kind of grit on the floor. Right now, it's coarse rock.
Yeah,
it's coarse rock actually.
Because the rails are gone.
The ballast.
Yeah,
we've taken the rails out, so that it's and there will be a connect from where the Northern Rail Trail ends right now, right by the CCB. The bike path will run along where the sidewalk is along the river, and then when you get to about where the college is, there'll be a crossing of the road, and then it'll go underneath the tunnel, and then go through the High Street. And when they redo High Street, which is coming up in a couple of years, the state's going to be redoing that area, Mechanic Street. We'll make that a lot more friendly for pedestrians and bikes to go across to get onto the rail trail there too. So
it'll be more than a couple of years. They have in New Hampshire it's the GASIC plan, and what it is, we call it the 10-year plan. And different projects throughout the state are put on that list and in priority, and then as they work through the top, they get accomplished. But we jokingly call it the 10-year plan, but it really goes longer than that, because the project on 12A that just got completed was put on the list in 1999, and really the plans didn't start to gel until 2009 and completed in 2012. Yeah. So they get, as the money is available. If the money's not available, the project is not done. So I would, that's going to happen.
New Hampshire does have a problem with money sometimes.
With getting projects in a lot of areas there. But in talking to a lot of people, about this project and other things like that, never realized there was a tunnel there. A lot of people, and even some people who, have lived in Lebanon for a good number of years, don't realize that there is a tunnel there. And it was a railroad tunnel.
My wife and I live in downtown Lebanon, and at this point, when we have an appointment at Alice Peck Day Hospital or at the doctor's office over there, we walk through the tunnel. It's spooky, but if you put that aside, you can do it. And it's really it's so nice to not have to deal with the traffic and not have to worry about that kind of thing. It's really it will be really lovely once it's done. I'm looking forward to working on this.
Excellent. Yeah, your enthusiasm is catchy. So, how do we get people involved, and who they should call, or
we have a website.
Okay.
And it's that's terrible because I can't remember what it is.
Well, they can call the Recreation Department.
The Recreation Department would be able to put them on that. We're actually working with the Upper Valley Trail Alliance also, which is, they have a website. If you Googled Mascoma River Greenway, you'd get us. Like I said, we're in the silent phase of our campaign to raise the funds. In probably another 6-8 months, we'll be starting to do fundraising within the city itself and some of the people that use the trail. We will be doing in the spring, which is going to be coming up soon.
Yes.
We will be looking for people who want to help with removing the brush from the trail. we're a little bit cautious with dealing with the bridges because we don't want people falling off.
Oh, sure. Yes, you don't want to lose your volunteers down the river, huh?
Right.
You can sell them down the river, but don't send them.
No, so we want to, we're a little bit cautious about that, but we are going to be doing clearing and other work along the trail. So if you want to, I guess one of the best ways to get a hold of me would be my email is go to teach at comcast.net. It's GO, the number 2, and then TEACH. And I have an email list that I'm keeping of people that are interested. So if you're interested, give me a heads up, and I'll put your name on the email list, and you'll be notified when stuff is going on.
Great. Exciting activity. People who are cooped up this winter want to get out and do some work, digging and cutting trees and brush. Frank, we certainly appreciate your call.
One more thing, we also have we have several teams that are working. We have a campaign team, we have a marketing team. We're always looking for people to help that have had experience with either fundraising or with marketing, communications with community. Love to have your name added to the list too. So let me know, and I'll push it on. Yep.
Excellent. Good. Well, Frank, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
I wish you success in your plan, and look forward to see some action in the springtime. A little more action going forward. That's another edition of Points of Interest, brought to you by the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. And we'll be back next week with another program and speaker. Until then.